About 14 months ago, GoHighLevel, the tool that I use to run my marketing agency, invited me on to do a 3-day workshop. And to my surprise, it was the most watched workshop at that time, beating people like Billie Jean and Frank Kern's workshops that they did. And I have no idea really why. The only thing I could probably think about of why it was the most watched workshop was because I believe I lay out the foundations probably better than most people. And I swear I'm not tooting my own horn. Believe me, I'm probably one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet. But the reason why I take such pride in teaching things a simple way is because honestly, that's how I learned. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I think I outwork my wits 95% of the time. And I try to deliver easy to people who are trying to build a business, build their marketing agency, for them to understand in a clear vision, in an easy way to understand the processes that need to take place. And in this video, I was invited back again a few weeks ago. And if you haven't seen it, well, now I'm going to allow you to watch it on this channel. And so this is going to be day one. I'm going to be talking about implementing AI in your own marketing agency, even if you're a complete beginner, even if you are thinking about starting this business and have not. And I'm going to introduce you to something new that I built. I introduced it for the first time in this workshop, and everybody absolutely loved it. Matter of fact, most of the emails I got was, when is this thing going to be ready? So it's almost ready. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I encourage you to watch this entire workshop day one in its entirety. And the only reason is because I lay foundations in the beginning, and I go through some slides, but bear with me because they're all important. What I do in this day one is I explain in what I hope and what I've heard in an easy to understand and digestible way when you're starting a marketing agency, or you're just trying to get it off the ground, or maybe you're trying to scale it, the exact steps that you have to take. And it always starts with prospecting and sales. And the hardest part that people just don't understand is why, if I'm prospecting and I'm talking to people, everybody says no. And the number one reason is because you don't know what to offer them, because you've never had a conversation with that business owner. And that is the foundation of business 101, no matter what business it is find a problem that anyone in the world has, preferably a lot of people, and solve the problem. But if you don't have conversations with business owners or people in your business owners in your area, then how in the heck do you know what solution they need? Because every business owner has different problems. They're not all the same. And so in this video, I literally unwrap that and I show you how to find out, and then I show you how to offer it. And so enjoy day one. Day two will come up next week. And I encourage you, if you do not have GoHighLevel currently, at the end of, actually during the entire presentation, you'll see a QR code on the top of that presentation. You could scan it and sign up for GoHighLevel for a 14-day free trial. You get a bunch of bonuses and private Facebook group and all that good stuff. But everything is explained on this workshop. And I hope you get a lot out of it. Please comment down below any questions that you might have. And if you're new to this channel, I appreciate you watching. I'm sure you're going to get a lot out of this. Okay, so let's start day one. So by the end of today, everybody's going to know how to talk to a business owner. So the main problem when it comes to, and I've been teaching this since 2017. I've had over 8,000 people pay us to learn how to start a marketing agency and counting. And the number one problem is that people are afraid with two things, right? Where do I find the businesses, and what do I say to them, right? How do I know what to sell them? And most of the time, like outside of what we teach, most people don't know. They just don't know what to say. They don't know, like, all right, maybe I want to pitch AI voice, right? But how do I know if the business needs it? What do I have to ask? Are there certain questions I should be asking? And so today, by the end of today, everybody is going to know exactly how to end a conversation with the with the flow being the business owner is admitting without even knowing they're admitting exactly what they need. And so what that does is it gives you confidence. So if I have a conversation with a plumber, I ask them a series of questions, and by the end, I'm going to know exactly what service to pitch them. I'm going to know exactly how to onboard them. I'm going to know exactly how to fulfill. And so that's what we're going to talk about today.
I love it. So let's dive right in. I know you got slides you want to share, so
Yeah.
that way we keep our conversation organized. Otherwise, I'll just be asking stuff just out
Yeah.
of curiosity of what's working and what's not working, and we'll just get
I moved you over here. So if I'm looking
all good. Yeah.
on the side, it's because of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna move this QR code to the right. So for those of you that see the QR code, it's an opportunity for you to jump into our trial offer that we have for this event. And so when you jump into the trial, you get a ton of, goodies and cool stuff from James. So you definitely want to take advantage of it, especially if you've been on the fence on whether you want to jump into high level yet or not. So what do we got, James?
all right. So the title of this is From Hustle to Algorithm. The new, what I put in quotes, because ultimately the foundations of running an agency never change. It's just having that blueprint and knowing what to do next. But before, so I'm going to say this for everybody that's watching, allow me to go through slides. Okay. I'm going to set the tone for what I'm going to walk you through in the next, it's going to take me like 10 minutes, 12 minutes to maybe 15 minutes. Unless there's questions. I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. Just get your cup of coffee and don't eat until after the end of this so you're not tired. Because I want to make sure that I lay the foundation so you guys know how important the framework is. All right. So we're going to be talking AI also. And so what I want to first do is talk about the elephant in the room, because a lot of this stuff that is out there, GoHighLevel has its suite of AI features. They're amazing. They're going to be, they're built into what I'm going to show you today. But believe it or not, like most pilots of companies that are building generative AI, things that they thought businesses need, they're all failing. They're literally in the MIT report that came out a couple weeks ago. I don't know if anybody saw that. And so I'm just going to, the underlined text here is really what I want to point out, is that the biggest ROI isn't in flashy marketing. And this is, shouldn't be a shocker, but it is a shocker for everybody. Flashy doesn't sell. Okay. It's boring back office automations, HR, finance, operations, mostly operations for people like us, right? So if we're talking to a plumber, what they really need help with is simple things that we can accomplish with using GoHighLevel. All right. So that is where the money is. They treat AI as like an infrastructure, not a toy. And so if I look here also, they're saying 19 and 20-year-olds are the ones that are making most of the money. All right. They've seen huge revenue jumps from 0 to 20 million in a year. It's because they pick one pain point. And so this, like I said, I'm going to be laying the foundation and the framework of why this process that I'm going to show you today works. They pick one pain point, they execute it well, and they partner smartly with companies who use their tools. Now, who are we partnering with? I can tell you who I'm partnering with when it comes to running my agency. It's GoHighLevel. I'm not trying to build. I'm not trying to use. Does anybody know what N8N N8N is? I'm sure people have heard of it, right? I spent 2 weeks trying to figure out how to use it, and then I realized I don't even know why I'm using it. Like, what am I even trying to build that GoHighLevel's AI tools can't do? And when I say GoHighLevel's AI tools, what I mean is I'm working with plumbers, electricians. I'm working with HVAC companies. I'm working with home repair modelers, kitchen repair. Like, you don't need to have a workflow that is the size of my back wall in order to sell something to somebody. You need simple. Like, they want simple. They need to solve one problem. And then once you solve one problem, that's where the big money starts to happen. And I'll show you why. All right. So I know Paulson already said this, but any results that I'm going to show you, okay, past performance is not a guarantee of future performance. High level does not guarantee that you will experience financial gain or generate revenue. Results will vary. Everybody in their mind check that off as the no guarantee piece. Everybody got that, right? All right, cool. So let's look at the old hustle way. And I put things in quotes because ultimately, like, we all got to hustle. All right. Building an agency today, in my opinion, is way easier than it was when I started in 2014. Way easier than, like, my business partner started in 2012. We just have the available tools that enables us to very easily implement, let's say, AI or reputation management or lead generation. Okay, so core services the old way was Facebook ads, pay-per-click ads, SEO, reputation management, message marketing, or database. We call it message marketing, but database reactivation. And then you had to have three core skills: copywriting, sales, prospecting, and SEO. If that was one of your things, you needed to understand it, unless you outsourced it, right? Most of the SEO I've outsourced. And so the old tool way, as I mentioned earlier, I used to have, these were all the tools that I was paying for to run agency and coaching business. And you could see, like, Calendly, they're over here. Oh, it's written in black. Pipeline, Schedule Ones, Calendly, Jotform, Woofu, Dash Clicks, ClickFunnels, Callfire, CallRail, Text Line. You get the point, right? Zapier, Kajabi, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now we just use GoHighLevel for everything, for coaching business, for marketing agency. This is what we use. All right. So if we look at what's happened now since AI has come into play, well, to me, what's happened is that there's just more things to offer businesses. There's more opportunities. There's more money to be made. There's more packages. There's more upsells. There's just more things you can sell. Because a plumber, right? Could they use lead generation? Sure. Could they use pay-per-click ads? Like, for example, pay-per-click ads? Sure. Could they help with ranking their Google business profile? Sure. Can they help with managing their reputation? Sure. Can they help reactivating their customers? Do they need help with, setting up a voice AI or an AI agent, or helping them with the reviews, putting a chat bot on there? Yes. They need help with everything. But you can't try to help them in the beginning with everything, because they don't even know what they need help with. Get the point? It makes sense? Now, the 4 core skills, we can now use AI to help us not have to be a professional copywriter. We can use AI to help rank Google business profiles a lot easier, as long as you know how to do it. We have GoHighLevel. So really, there's really one core skill that never changes, and that's sales and prospecting. Does everybody agree? Like, how is AI going to help me sell better? Can AI act for me as a marketing agency owner? Could it jump on a phone with a business owner and sell for me?
I think it can get you further in the sales cycle, but
Sure.
it still won't build that human connection before someone says, yes, let's invest into XYZ together.
Yeah. And so today I'm actually going to show you how AI is going to help with this.
Okay.
That's what I'm like, the framework. All right. So, and Paulson knows this. I just want to warn you guys, I can be very direct and passionate. If I get a little off my chains, I apologize. Is everybody cool with that? I just want to
My,
be.
my goal is to help you stay cool and calm and collected, because I know how passionate you can be. And, the thing with coaching in the agency world is you've built agencies a certain way, you know what works, but it's still, no matter how much you preach and teach and share with people, that it's one of the possible ways. When you see them go off lane and make a lot of mistakes, it can definitely be frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. I just get passionate. I just want people to get results. And sometimes you got to yell at them a couple times in order to
See, that's why you're here. You say it how it is.
yeah. So let's start with direct. Okay. So if we look at this list, right, I just talked about how we have all these things now. I wish I could put you on this side because I keep looking this way. Anyway, this is amazing. Like, okay, we don't have to be professional. We don't have to be excellent at everything. We have a ton of stuff that we can offer. There's the opportunities are endless, but none of it matters if you don't know how to sell it. Like literally nothing matters. So to kind of give this in perspective, if you're a contractor, you master every building skill. You can frame, you could wire, you could do plumbing, but you never go out to find a homeowner who actually needs a house built. All that knowledge, what does it do? It just sits there. The real money comes from when you knock on the doors, land projects, put those skills to work, right? So knowing how to do the 8 core services and obtaining the 4 core skills is cool, but means nothing without sales and prospecting. I'm assuming that everybody would agree with that. And again, I'm going to repeat. I have coached over 8,000 people, and everybody spends 95% of people never get out of the learning phase. They just learn and learn and learn. And then they go and buy something else and they learn and they learn and they learn and they see the next shiny object and they go learn and learn. And then all of a sudden, 3 years later, all they did was learn and they have no money to show for it. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm any better than anybody else. I did the same thing from 2007 to 2014. All I did was learn. I tried different business models. I got into MLMs. I got into e-com. I was selling T-shirts on using Facebook ads. I did it all. I'm no better. I'm not trying to say I'm better, but I learned by doing that I'm not the only one that did it, because most people do. But there's only one way to get out of that, and that is taking massive action with the things that are the most uncomfortable. Learning is easy. I could sit in front of my computer for 8 hours a day and watch YouTube videos and do all that stuff. That's the easy part. But like getting in my car and driving to the strip mall down the street and walking in, so maybe somebody needs a AI voice or somebody needs reputation management, that is the hard part. But today I hope to give you the confidence to be able to do that. That's my biggest thing, is I want to give you a framework and a blueprint to have the confidence to do the uncomfortable things so they're not so uncomfortable. Make sense? Make sense?
Absolutely. James, quick question. Why do you think people get stuck in the learning hamster wheel? Do you think it's because maybe they're afraid of rejection on sales, or do you think it's like a perfectionism thing where they're like, you know what, I've got to get my fulfillment or perception of fulfillment perfected before I can really you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. People get stuck in the learning phase because they think they need to have everything perfect. They need to have everything. They need to have everything perfect. They need to be able to have an answer to everything because they're afraid that, a business owner might, ask a question they don't have an answer to, and they want to avoid that at all costs. And by the way, that happens a lot. Like a lot of times, a business might ask me a question I don't have an answer to, and I just, simply say, I can get back to you on that. You're never going to have an answer to everything, but we can definitely minimize the unknowns, I should say.
Yeah. Does anybody else relate to that? Like I spent the first year and a half of my agency run in 2015 just attending a ton of events and masterminds and just spend time networking. And that was, I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I got to pick up the phone and dial and make sales happen. It can't just be visiting a bunch of events and learning more things.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. But people go to events a lot because it makes them feel good and they get excited and they get motivated, and then it just kind of wears down because, ultimately it's like any dopamine hit. But like I've said many of times, the best dopamine hit is when somebody pays you. So that's what the goal is. All right. So it's easy to say how amazing it is to sell AI to local businesses, but how do you know they need it? It's easy to say how amazing it is to sell, let's say, pay-per-click ads to local businesses, but how do you know they actually need it, etc. I can keep going on, and you don't. So how can you position yourself to sell something a business needs rather than puke jargon all over your prospects? A lot of times, and by the way, I've done this many of times, even years after, where I got excited about something and I would be prospecting and I would say, no, we could do this and I can get you this, and like just over promising and doing those things. We want to position ourselves to pitch something we know they need instead of pitch something you're excited about. Make sense? So the biggest mistake a lot of people make is they sell tools and features, right? They think businesses need to hear about all the automations. We could automate this, and we can, we can make your phone ring when we do this. All they care about is the outcome, right? They have a pain problem. They have a pain and a big problem, and you're just there to solve it. And most people here have heard that a million times. Unfortunately, or fortunately, that's true. It's that simple. You have to just be able to find the problem they have and then solve it.
So James, are we saying stop focusing on high level and focus on your sales pipeline instead? Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah. So GoHighLevel is a great point, because GoHighLevel is so big. There's so many things to learn. And I've seen this time and time again, where everybody is focused on learning where to click this and how to generate this, and I got to practice this. And they're in the GoHighLevel phase, right? So they're in the marketing agency learning phase, and they go into the GoHighLevel learning phase. I mean, it's just in the phase. It's a hamster wheel that never ends.
I love it. I hope you guys are all enjoying that we're just totally candid. We've done this event multiple times, I feel like at this point, and our goal is to deliver the right type of value to you. So tomorrow or tonight, you can take action and actually close deals. That's the goal that I have. I don't want you to get stuck on different phases and like find yourself like unable to jump into what matters most, which is setting appointments, closing appointments. Nothing else in business matters.
Yep.
Setting appointments, closing appointments.
That's it. Nothing else matters. So here's my promise. I want you to give into the process that I'm going to show you, and I want you to remove prior notions, because a lot of times, and look, I'm guilty of this too. If you're on YouTube and you just get sucked into the headlines of how to sell $10,000 N8N automation, right? There's so many, and then it's like, then you go down that N8N rabbit hole, and then you again, I'm repeating, but 90 days later, you just learned about N8N and how difficult it is and confusing, unless you have like 130 IQ, which I definitely do not. I think 130 is high. I don't really know. But I'm just not smart enough to do that. So leveraging the tool to offer a simple service, and that's what we need to talk about. All right, and then give me 2 days of your attention. All right. So the last time I did this, Paul said, I remember you telling me there are still people that are out there that just don't know if this is the business model, right? Like they're still trying to figure it out. So I want to give a touch on why, in my opinion, this is the best business to start. For me, it's changed my life, right? The blueprint never changes. We simply help businesses get more leads and customers. We solve their problems. That's it. That's all we have to do, right? The how, the speed to implement has changed. AI has helped us with speed and implementation. It's a global business. No matter where you are in the world, you can run it. It's impossible for it to ever be saturated. I talked about that earlier. It doesn't take many clients to change your life, because the way I teach it, we teach higher ticket items, not low ticket. So you don't need as many clients. It's respectful, can be leveraged, sold, bought, passed down, low barrier to entry. It actually is the simplest business to start and get results, in my opinion. Maybe people would argue with me. And then AI has made it a lot easier. And no, agencies are not dead. So you must have went through my slides. I don't know.
I love it. I do think it's the best personal development course you can ever take in business as well.
Yeah. It'll teach you things about yourself that you never knew existed. That's for sure. All right. So I want to warn everybody. Okay. I know Paulson gets a kick out of this every time. So during the next 2 days, I'm going to sporadically give away over $20,000 of giveaways. Okay. I'm going to give 3 coaching spots, like my own coaching, to 3 lucky winners. 1 spot I'm going to give an 8-week mentorship to. So that means that I'm going to assign you to a 6-7 figure agency owner that does mentoring for my coaching students. And they're going to work with you for 8 weeks, one-on-one every single week, walk you through our process. And that's worth a lot of money. So 1 person will win that. I don't know when I'm going to give it away. Maybe none today, maybe all tomorrow, maybe 1 today. Who knows? I just want people to stay. I just want people to stay. Okay. You guys cool with that?
Give us
get a
a one in the
reply.
chat if you're cool with that. And we don't do this that often, just so you know, at high level. Every once in a while. I think last time we did giveaways, didn't we?
Yeah, I gave a boatload away, but I actually didn't. I gave one coaching spot away, but I gave away like hats and T-shirts. I said, forget the. I don't feel like mailing things, so I would rather just give away. All
I
right,
love it. Let's keep going.
all right. So I have some data here. I'm not going to waste much time here, but in the end, it's exploding. Right, massive demand for digital marketing services. It's still on a very steep upward trajectory. The agency market size is huge. Enormous room for new agencies, especially those that carve distinctive niches or offer integrated modern services like AI. Agencies skilled in digital first AI supported strategies are poised to capture the lion's share of brand marketing budgets, which means if you have an AI service to offer, you will eventually outpace people who are kind of still stuck in just typical traditional agency avenues. AI powered agency isn't just scalable, it's exactly what clients are investing in and demanding right now. And they say that the 84% of agencies identify as specialists, not generalists, right? So differentiation is key, and specialization, especially when paired with AI, is a powerful formula for success. So we have everything is laid out. Okay, the time is now. So if you've been kind of wondering if you should do this, I mean, you're early in my opinion. Like you were late a year and a half ago. Not late because you can't saturate this business, but now with AI, you're early. Okay, so you went from being quote unquote late to early. So today you're not going to have to really pitch a niche unless you really want pick a niche unless you really want to. You don't even need to pick a service. You will know where to find clients because there's so many ways. You will know what to say to them, when to say it, how to say it. You're going to know how to leverage AI and go high level. AI is going to be your partner in a service. You're going to have a step-by-step blueprint. All right. So if you stay for all 2 days and grab a trial with my link, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a full-blown Go High Level training. I have my own Facebook ads training you're going to get, PPC training, because these are services that we teach and offer. Cold email training is almost done. Upwork training, which people do not use Upwork enough. It is a freelancer, Upwork. These are businesses raising their hand. You just don't know how to set up your profile right. You get a free agency site, 13 done for you funnels. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how to set up rep management with AI. Referral automations. None of this is going to mean anything to you because you don't understand any of it, but it will mean something to you by the end of today. Okay. And then trial scripts, retainer scripts, client qualification interview script, onboarding forms, pricing and traffic sheets, and a prospect tracker. I'm going to go through this stuff so it'll make sense to all of you. Okay.
I love it. Just to clarify, James, your focus, is it local businesses only, or can I build an agency a bit more wider, even outside of local businesses? Or like
Well, give me
what
an
should my
example.
like should I focus like where should my mindset posture be? Is it like I'm gonna go after the plumbers or the realtors or like certain people in a local industry, or am I gonna take on like a e-com store or like a influencer coach or something like that? Like
Oh,
where should my mindset be on my
your
target?
mind. The mindset, what I'm teaching today has nothing to do with like influencers or coaching or something like that. This is going to be, you're going for a local business.
Mom and pop
I mean,
shops.
yeah, mom and pop. It could be big, big HVAC companies or pool installation companies, things like that. But any business that, and a lot of people will say, well, my town only has 10,000 people in it. So just think of the next biggest town closest to you. Who have you hired? Right? Who's come to your house to fix your siding? Who's come to your house to do plumbing work, electrical work, fix your garage doors? Like this is what I'm talking about. Like, where do you walk in your local area to go into? What stores do you go into? This is like e-com stuff. There's a time and place for that, but I'm a blue collar local business marketing agency.
I love it. Can we have everyone in the chat type that out? Blue collar agency. I just want everyone to understand that are watching on replay or maybe you're just coming in. We have a certain mindset in mind, like that we're building an agency out a certain way. Like there's 500 different ways to build
Yeah.
an agency, but this is something that I think is really interesting because it's more, to me, it's more stable. This is the way I built multiple agencies as well. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So they're the best people to work with. These local businesses is what drives the economy. It is the heartbeat of America, and even outside in other countries, like it is, they employ the most, and they drive our economy. Okay, so this is all the stuff that you're gonna get. All right, so I kind of talked about it, but I've coached over 8,000 people, generated over 37 million online. It's both my agency and coaching. Dozens of awards you see behind me. It's just for those who have no idea who I am. What I'm most proud of, obviously, of course, my kids, my 2 kids, my wife, my family. But what I'm second most proud of is this stat down here. So 7 years of coaching this exact model. Is this cut off? No, it's not. We have verified 2.8 million per month in student retainers since 2018 to 2024. These are verified screenshots and proof following this exact blueprint that I'm teaching today.
Yeah, Jason's a great guy, by the way. I'm curious if he's joining us by chance.
Yeah,
But
he moved to Australia, so I
okay,
think it's
okay.
like
So time zone is off the
it ain't
charts.
working.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Jason's a great guy. If you get a chance to meet with him, it's always a pleasure.
He'll actually be in October. He'll be at the
Okay,
live event.
perfect.
Okay, so we know this stuff works. So who is ready to land their first 1,000 to 3,000 per month paying client? Anybody ready for that?
It sounds
Now,
scary for someone who just haven't made their first dollar, James.
well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. My first client that I landed was 5,000 a month. The first client from start in 2014, I landed a mortgage loan officer at 5,000. I promised the world. I have a whole story about this, and I don't want to waste too much time. But I just threw the price out, and I was selling him SEO at the time, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, 5,000 works." Now, what happened after that is an hour conversation, but just let me just say, never over promise and under deliver. Just under promise and over deliver. Let's put it that way. So anyway, everybody's ready. Okay, so we have to start with step 1 in this process. Okay, so if you can't do this, you have no business, and the rest of this training is going to be worthless. All right, and it's sales and prospecting, and this is for everybody. So anybody who wants to start this business, whether even if you're a large agency, this stuff could help you. And these are the 2 days we talked about it earlier, but I already had them in my slides: prospecting and sales, and then leveraging AI and GoHighLevel to offer tiny wins and turn them into big money. Okay, we're just going to skip kind of through this. All right, these are just some students that recently posted. You could screenshot it and read it, but I mean, some of these people are making their agencies are bigger than mine. Like in 1 month, this guy got 6 new clients, 2,000, 4,000, 4,000, 2,000, 4,000, 4,000. It is a hell of a lot easier to build a business when you're getting those kind of payments compared to trying to land 100 clients at $97 a month. Okay, that's always my big thing. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Maybe some people are better to do it the other way. But for me and my students, I've always learned that charging higher prices is worth it, because a couple clients changes your life. And I just have 4 of those. This is my favorite one. 10 new clients. It was in the month. 13,000 added. Look at all of them from Upwork, by the way. Just I want to make a point about Upwork, because it is like the goal. People are going to agree with me, disagree with me on here, but we have students that crush it on Upwork. That's all they do. All of their clients are just found on Upwork. Just a few more other high ticket payments. Okay, just so you know that it's not just me saying it. It's not theory. So this is our process. Okay, so if some of you who were on my last one, I actually think it was longer than 10 months ago. Paulson, I think it was like 2 years ago that I was on. No?
Really?
Yeah. I think it was 2 years ago.
Man,
I know. Time flies.
It feels like a year ago.
So our process is obviously niche, picking a niche. I'm not, I think you work into your niche. I didn't put this in the training about what I think about it, because ultimately in the beginning, you just take whatever you can get. And then you get good at something. You find out who you like to work with, and then you niche down. Okay. That's just all I'll say about that. That's my opinion. That's what I've seen work, is that you just kind of like, you take the opportunities as they come, you build a portfolio, you get results for clients, you get the confidence, you love working with gym owners, and then you go all in on gym owners. That's the process that I've seen work time and time again. And then prospecting. And then when you're prospecting and you get on a call, like Paulson said, right, you got to generate the leads or find the prospects and get on a call with them, get them to book an appointment with you. Most people, then what they do is they just try to sell them. It's like they have it in their mind that I'm going to sell reputation management to any business that books a call with me, no matter what, if they need it or they don't. And then they wonder why they can't close anybody. But if you get past the client, the talking to the business, well, now we got to get them on a trial. I love offering free trials. It is for beginners, intermediates, and even big agency owners. There is nothing better than a trial, my opinion. Now, they could be paid trials. They don't have to be free, but in the beginning, they should be free. Again, I could speak about an hour on this, but I'm not going to. And then we need to onboard them. And then we need to close them on a retainer, because we're moving out from a trial into a retainer. And then we're going to onboard them based on what the retainer service is. And then we want to upsell them and then ask them for referral. This is the process. So I'm going to stop there and see if anybody has any questions.
I'm curious to the crowd that's watching today, almost like 300 plus of you. Where do you feel like in these 8 steps that you want to spend the most attention on? Are you at a point where you're like, you know what, Paulson, I'm working with like 3, 4 different industries. I don't know where to like dial down. Or maybe you have that dial down, you're like the trial and close place where you're like, I don't know if I should lead with the free offer. Should I charge a setup fee? What should the price for my offer be? Or are you at like retainers, like where you're like trying to upscale them into bigger tickets? Or maybe you're at the referral component where you're like, you know what, I'm working so hard dialing and dialing to get my own sales. I cannot build a referral business that works for me instead of, having, my own sales. Where are you? Like, tell me what phase you feel like you're at now. I should see numbers in the comments here. 1 through 10, 1 through 8, right? Do you have a client qualification process? Do you have an interview process? Or is somebody else handling any of these steps for you, or are you handling all of it? Like, where are you as an entrepreneur? Kind of give us feedback here as comments are flying in.
Yeah, I saw a lot of like interview people saying the interview before they started typing in the.
Got it. Yeah. I see people here. Keith says I'm on the first. Salvador says 1 through 8, man, all of it. I love that.
Yeah.
We got 2, 5, and 6. Matthew Phillips. Lucas says 5. Alex says 3 and 4. Tomas says 4, 1. Okay, cool.
All right. Well, whatever. I'm going to help you with all of it. Okay, so let's just go through it. All right. So I have to, Paulson, I'm sorry. I'm going to, again, I'm going to put a disclaimer. There's more than one way. And by the way I run my agency, I actually have low ticket and I have high ticket. Okay. So you're going to see that. But what I don't like that I see a lot of times people saying is that there's only one way. Like I see a lot of people are saying like low ticket, charge them, 97, 197 because they will stay longer or they can afford it or it's going to be less work for you. Okay. You could do it. And there are people who've done it and they have hundreds of clients and they, it's all recurring. Again, I'm not going to touch on my thoughts on that. In my opinion, I don't think that's the best way to do it. You can mix them. You can do both, where you can have your low ticket and work your way up into the upsell of getting them high ticket, right? So how do I go back? Yeah. So they will stay longer because you're selling a cheaper product is not true. And I'm going to tell you why. Just look at the fitness industry. Fitness apps are $10 a month and they have a 90% churn rate. 90%. Okay. And they're cheap. Traditional gyms, like large gyms, 50% churn rate. Half of new members quit within 6 months. And that's $10 to $40. I have a LA Fitness down the road. It's like $9 a month. I don't even know how they stay open. I mean, the place is enormous. They're just constantly having to bring in new members. They lose. If you're churning 50% of people who come in 6 months, you better bring in more than you brought in the previous 6 months, right? Average gyms, health clubs, 30 to 40% annually. Now, so the prices are going up a little bit, right? And you see it as the price goes up, your churn actually starts to go down. Premium health clubs, churn is pretty good, 28 to 30% annually. And they're 50 to 100. They're not 10 to 30. Boutique studios, CrossFit, yoga, spin, 20 to 30%. And personal training clients, this is where I want to talk about. I want to be a marketing personal trainer. Okay. 80 to 85% churn within 1 year, fewer than 15% reach 50 sessions. So the boutique is, I'm sorry, personal training. I want to be in the boutique area, right? I want to be able to have a relationship. Okay. So boutique studios, everybody knows your name, right? The person knows your name. You start to feel guilty because you're not going. They call you out. Hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. You're like, oh my God, he embarrassed me in front of the class, things like that. And they could be 100 to $250 a month. All right. So as personalization increases, prices increase and churn decreases. Does everybody understand that? Did I explain that properly? Essentially, my current agency clients, I know by their first name. I sometimes have dinner with them. But our families go out. These people became my friends. They like, even if they wanted to cancel, they probably won't. They'll feel bad. Feel bad. So I don't want my client to just be a client. I want them to become, a friend. And it happens naturally. Like there's some clients that I talk to maybe once a month that I don't go out to dinner with, not all of them, but like you just want to have that in your mind because ultimately that you become friends with them because you change their life, you change their business, and they just naturally become friends, right? Make sense? All right. So my goal is to show you how to get these kind of payments. 3,000, 1,500, 16, 2,000, 331, yada yada. These are August payments from clients, but I am going to show you where they started. So August clients payments, 31,000 over 16 clients, 382,000 per year, right? But they're high paying. They're paying high. And again, the numbers I show are our numbers. We don't guarantee that you're going to have the same results. We've been doing this for over 10 years, but we all start from ground zero. Okay. Did I do good on my disclaimer, Paulson, to make sure to go high level?
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. However, all those clients were landed in this portion of the blueprint. They weren't landed here. Like when I say landed, I should say this, those payments were because of this part of the step. Okay. Those weren't payments from trials or even the retainer. They were the upsell. All right. So these are those same clients trials in July. Does that make sense? Now this is both Jason and myself. So we're both land clients and things like that. So we own an agency together. So these new clients came in July. Were low paying clients, 297s, 300s, 349s. And those were landed here.
Yeah, let's pause for a quick
Yeah.
second. What you just shared is a really big piece to the agency model today. Now, all of you that are SaaSpreneurs, take a look. James has two of those gold plaques. He was one of the first ones to get two, and I think you're on your way to get the platinum, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, I
next
think
year or
so.
this year.
Next year, I think.
All to tell you that the way people come into James's business is different than the way they stay in the business long term, right? So there's a entry point offer, which is the SaaSpreneur model we talk about. Myself, Chase, founders, like we talk about the low ticket SaaS model because it takes the pressure off of sales. You can build enormous things with that. There's also negatives to that, right? You're not going to be able to go charge one of those clients $10,000. Like you have to have an offer that makes sense. So James, correct me if I'm wrong. You're looking at the SaaS model, the entry level, as like a pool where eventually you can handpick the top players that are paying you sometimes even 20 grand a month.
Yeah. So what essentially through this process, we identify the first problem that they have, and we solve that problem, that little problem. And it could be they don't have enough reviews, right? Is that I and I'll talk about this, but like, or they want a database where they want to bring in more money from their current customers. Now, how do I identify that? I identify it through our client qualification interview, and then I want to get little wins for them. I want to get them on my side. I want to prove that I'm the man. I'm their marketing doctor, right? I'm their business doctor. Identify the problem. I give them a medicine to fix it. All right, that's what we like to say. But we all know that, like, if I have diabetes, I probably have more than one problem. I don't mean, like, for anybody that had diabetes, it's not anything against you. My father has it. Okay, but so we solve the problem with a pill. It's such a bad such a bad way to explain this, but it's actually true. We solve the problem with the pill, but then the pill actually creates more problems.
Yeah, it doesn't solve the root cause, is what you're getting
No.
at.
And then they need, like, okay, now we need to sell them, like, weight loss. We need to get them off the pills, things like that. Whatever. The example is a bad one, but it's actually true. So as we solve one problem, we actually create more problems. And I actually don't have anything on this, but like when you asked me this question, it made me think of it. This is actually really important.
Yeah.
So let's think about this for a second. So more reviews. Okay. So if I help a business get more reviews, they're getting, an extra 10 reviews a week, because I'm hitting their past customers, asking them to give a review. I set up a system where now new customers that come in, now they get a text message that says leave a review, when before the business never even was trying to get reviews, right? It was just a natural thing. People would review it when they were happy. Well, what's the problem that I created? I created a problem where they don't have time to respond to the reviews. And everybody knows at Google, it is very important to respond to reviews. Well, now I could upsell them AI review, or like the response to AI reviews. You see, so I'm fixing a problem and then uncovering another problem so I can sell them more, because I'm in business to make money. I don't know about you guys. You guys in business to make money? So I want to solve one and create a new problem so I could solve that problem.
I love it. So as you solve bigger problems, your price point, your retainers,
Yeah.
your exchange has the potential to grow.
Yes. And I'm doing more things for them. Ultimately, is really why I'm charging more, because I start to basically be the go-to person to everything that they do, right? And a lot of times I'll come into a business that already has a marketing guy.
Yeah.
And they just, like, get reports that they really don't know. A lot of times the marketing agencies are burning churns, like big ones that a lot of these companies hire. They just know that they're going to lose, 20 clients this month, but they're going to get 50. So their business model works. So they burn and churn, and they get on long-term commitments, and they really give people like us, what I like to consider myself a boutique agency, a bad name. But there's also opportunity there.
Yeah. And James, is it true that a $50 client often is way more needy than a $5,000 client?
Oh, I mean, are you kidding me? It is beyond true. It is beyond. And that goes back to this part over here. Hold on. Where did it go? Less work. I would say that is not true at all. What happens is that when somebody pays you a lot of money, they're vested in you. And yes, now you better perform. Let's call a spade a spade. Like, this isn't like charge more money because you want to charge more money. It's charge more money because you are ultimately, like, fixing their problems and delivering on what you're promising. Make sense?
Absolutely. Let's keep going.
All right. So originally, those clients, the 16 clients, was $5,516, which is $66,192 per year versus 382. So for me, it's that the when they come in, and the process when they come in to upselling them to more things is crucial. It's crucial to your success. It's crucial to making sure you have enough cash flow to grow. Right? That makes sense to everybody? Because I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather make 382 versus 66. Right?
Absolutely.
Or no? Okay. Same amount of clients, 5 times the income. So there's no, again, I'm going to side note, there's no wrong way or right way. There's just a way that you think is best for you. All right. All right. So hold on. Let's see if I could just jump onto this. Oh, I'm already here. So I just want to give you guys like a visual look of this because I love playing with this calendar. You guys can go to, it's a calendar that I built. Client Lize, LYZE.com. You just play around with it if you want. It's like analyze, but lies, client lies. Anyway, so I like to play around with this because I like to look, I like to like try to plan and say, look, if I land one client per month, starting in month 1, and I do it, and this allows you to like plan, like have a goal, and I do it every month. I land one client every single month at $1,000 a month, little overhead, right? I have a little my GoHighLevel, say if you're on the 297 plan, is fixed overhead. I could look and see like how would I grow? Well, month 1 you get $1,000 client, and then by the end of the year you would have made 66,000, right? Now watch as I slowly start to, I'm going to add more services. So I go from, look at the compounding effect. Even if I'm raise my price by $500 a month on clients, or I sell them more things, I go from 66,000 just by $500 to 105,000, right? You could see the growth. Now, let's say you have some churn in there. So we go 10% churn, you're still at 97. So you're losing a client, and it'll show you like, all right, if I get a client that cancels, when they cancel, you could kind of see like where your income would be. Now plug it in for, let's say, a 297 offer. 297. That's an agency doing what? $10,620 a month. I mean a year. I don't know. Yeah, you guys want to make 10,000 a year? You want to make more? That's my philosophy. It's just by increasing the price. All right. But again, you still have to know, like you still have to essentially have enough to offer that you could justify the price. Make sense? And we always like to say, out of 30 million businesses, you can't find 5 businesses to pay you $1,500 a month. Come on, 5 businesses to pay you guys $1,500 a month. There's 33 million of them just in the US. 5 businesses, and you're making 80 grand a year, more than your full-time job by far. All right, cool. So today we're going to start here because everybody's going to wonder about this client who charges $1,000 per month to one client. Oh, many people charge that. Many people. All right. So sales and prospecting and the client qualification interview are the 2 single actions agencies need to know prior to anything. Or I'm going to wave to you from the top of that nice shiny rabbit hole that you're sitting in. All right. And guess what? 3 to 5% actually do it. I'm just going to go through this really quick. Who cares about that? The problem with a lot of agency owners or people who are starting their agencies, they have no plan, no direction, no reliable script, no reliable lead source, and no reliable process. Would everybody agree with that?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to get into a few things, and I'm not. So let's talk about lead generation, and I'm not going to do. I mean, we could sit here for 6 hours and talk about lead gen. All right, but I'm just going to tell you, for all you guys out there that don't think that you could generate leads, you could take the hard route and cold call, cold email, cold DM, right? And then the process is like you have a lead list, tech stack, and 2 points. You're touching them on 2 points. Everything leads to the client. All I care about you guys is seeing is this. Everything leads to the client qualification interview. Okay. So this lead generation source does. If you did organic content, it all should lead to a phone call with you. Okay. Website, your Google Business profile, referral marketing. Your warm market should be the first place you start, by the way, friends, family, acquaintances, or people that you work with. You should, if you really want to make this business work, join a BNI group in your local area, go to networking events, and then ask clients for referrals. Again, should be posting on Facebook and Instagram what you do, what you offer. You could deliver audits, emails, everything leads to a client qualification. And then Upwork or Freelancer is just a quick way to start landing clients. So then when leads aren't a problem, knowing what to say. So this is what we're going to go through right now is a client qualification interview, which I call the secret weapon.
Yeah, I love it. Can we pause for one
Yeah,
second
yeah.
here? So those of you that have at least one client, give me one in the chat. I see a ton of you watching live right now. If you have at least one paying client, give me a one in the chat. Okay. I see a ton of you. Okay, cool. Now, I want you to put down in the comments one or two words. How did you get your first client? I want to know how you got your first client. And I want to compare notes to what James just said. Lot I here I do these workshops and webinars and podcasts and all these things. I talk to agency owners, and the theme is exactly the same almost every single time. It's the BNIs, it's the chambers, it's the speaking, it's literally picking up the phone and talking to people that are in your warm network. And then when you get to a certain level, you'll have revenue coming in. Let's say you get to 5 customers at 2 or 3 thousand a month, which is not hard in the world of local businesses. At that point, you should have a 8 to 12K a month business. Can you take half of that and throw it into paid ads? Can you take half of that, build an affiliate system? And that's what it all comes down to. Frank Kern was in here and he talked about the same exact model James is talking about, which is, hey, have a low ticket offer. Frank talked about reviews as a thing, right? Billie Jean came in here. He talked about providing audits and certain content as your first gateway offer. What is your foot in the door offer? You talk to a guy like Nick Robbins or you talk to like Molly Mahoney, they'll tell you charge for an audit. Nick would back in the day, Nick would charge $150 or $200 to do a marketing audit, whether that prospect became a client or not. So these are foot in the door mechanisms and offers that you might feel like, man, I hear this from every person. I hear this from every type of place. And the reason why that is the case is because it works. Maybe James is better at a chamber event where he can present something where I'm not. I might be better at hosting a dinner, right? I talked to a guy yesterday. He's in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia. It's a big wine country. He held the first wine get together for entrepreneurs and got clients out of it, right? So don't be afraid of that initial first step. And I think that is something that we just can't overlook.
Yes. And so again, everything I talk about, like none of it matters if you're not willing to. That's what I said in the beginning. You have to get out of your comfort zone. There is no shiny, there's no shiny bullet for this. And again, if I go back to these, I'm not going to sit here and go through how to generate leads with Facebook ads, or how should you cold call properly. Yeah, do I have trainings on that, or cold emailing or cold DMs? Because ultimately, in my opinion, this is where you should be, right? You don't need to do anything else. Warm market, friend, family, acquaintance, BNI groups, networking events. There's no course that you could buy that will do it for you. Like this is the reality of business. And those who aren't willing to do it, it's just you're not going to make it work. Okay. So even what I'm going to show you, the walkthrough of this interview, it's not going to matter if you don't have anybody to do it with, right? Make sense? And by the way, I was reading what everybody referrals, warm market, business expos, like it's everybody has the same answer, because and then those of you who are not answering, you're hoping for a magic bullet and it just doesn't exist. Yeah, friend,
I
family.
told you we're gonna get candid, didn't we? I told you we're gonna be really honest. The hardest client to get is your first 5, 6. It's much easier to get your 100th and the 200 client because you at that point have so many resources. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
All right. So I'm going to do, we're going to walk through this part right here, the client qualification interview. And so before I do that, let me just show you guys really quick the process that I've been doing. I'm going to put this closer. That I've been doing for like 2014, and then teaching this paper process. Okay, so where am I? I'm here, right? So this would be our CQI, and what I would do is I would read the script. I'd be on with a business owner, whether they
You're
were
on Zoom. You're on Zoom or in person?
I would be on Zoom. I didn't want to do it in person because I didn't want them to know that I was writing things down. So I would naturally kind of go through this interview process. And it doesn't matter. You can still do it in person, and you can take now what I'm about to show you. You could actually take your laptop, sit across from them, and fill it out. But I used to do it I used to do it on paper. We would fill it out, and then we would have, like, if message marketing was the thing I was pitching them, and I'd have my onboarding list, and I'd have to send it out, and then hopefully he was going to do it, or I'd ask him other thing. I'd write out the things, and I'd have to come back to the office and put it all in there. Here's my if I sold them SEO, here's all the questions I had to ask for that. Reputation management, here's everything I had to ask for that. Lead generation, here's everything I had to ask for that. Google My Business Profile, NAP listings, and so on. You guys get the point?
It looks like you were using fax machines back then, James.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 2014. Were fax machines a thing? Yeah, probably. Believe it or not, people still use that, fax machines.
Yeah, I'm just busting your chops for fun. But
it feels like it.
But the qualification process, what are you looking for? What are some things that would disqualify a prospect?
Well, I'll show you. Okay. Let me go over to here. I'm on here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just log out. So this isn't available for anybody. It will be available for anybody who grabs. This is one of the bonuses that I'm going to be giving away. Grabs a trial, upgrades, and GoHighLevel. If you're a GoHighLevel user. By the way, we need to, before I forget at the end of this, we got to talk about how, like with the snapshot, when do we talk about that? Just so everybody, do we give the snapshot tomorrow?
So if you registered for the event, you'll get the snapshot at the end of the event. So tomorrow at the end of the event,
perfect.
We will do a blast and it'll go out. If you just registered, if you have an existing HIGHLEVEL account, that includes a trial, you jump in with this event right now.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, perfect. So then I don't have to worry about that. So at the end of tomorrow, I'll show you in that snapshot where you can get access to certain things. But anyway, so I built this. And there's some people from my coaching program that are on here that will probably be like, what is that? I never saw that, because like this is brand new. So you guys are going to see this before even my whole coaching group. Okay. So I created a process that allows you to do this interview interactively, right? If I'm on Zoom, let's assume I'm on Zoom with somebody who wants to get on who I'm going to help with their marketing or whatever it might be. They were a referral, whatever it is. So if I click new interview, essentially, if it's, let's say it's, what industry should I talk about?
Well, let's ask the crowd. What industry should we do a sample on? Let's see.
Somebody's going to probably give me some wacky industry. You know that's going to happen. Right?
Manufacturing of chips.
Roofing.
I'm just kidding. Let's go with roofing. Yeah, Salvador says roofing. Perfect.
All right. Manufacturing of chips. I should have roofing in here. If not, you could just put other. Yeah, roofing. Roof repair. All right, so I'm going to talk to somebody. He's in roofing. I know, maybe I don't know. He has 4 employees, but he was a referral. The name of his company is ABC Roofing. So I'm filling this out. Maybe I know what his initial problem is. Maybe I don't. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put inconsistent lead gen.
Yeah. Can you make the screen a little bigger? If you go to view and go to,
like that?
Perfect. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to start this interview. And this process is going to walk me through questions to ask. All right. And so the first question that I'm going to introduce, obviously, hey, this is James. Start the conversation. And essentially what I want to say is, look, I want to get a little insight of your business, how you run your business, so then I can help identify what I can maybe help with or maybe not help with. Maybe if not, then we go both separate ways, but maybe I could help you with some of the issues that you might be having. And so the first question I want to ask is, and I have time, right? Paulson, I have till 2.
Yeah, you have whatever time you need to get this done, right?
Okay.
Yep.
So the first question I want to ask is, would you say you have the capacity to handle more business and are looking to bring in more new customers into your business and grow sales? Or are you interested in just maintaining your current customer base while still increasing sales? So if you read the goal here, right, what do I want to do? I want them to admit and confirm that they want help. All right. In addition, I'm getting an idea of where their head is at in terms of their capacity to handle more business, because more customers means all services that I can offer on the table. Maintaining current customers, I would probably just focus with either rep management or database reactivation, which is message marketing. Okay. So I'm going to choose if they say here, Paulson, you answer the questions.
Yeah. So what I'm understanding here, my background's in healthcare before agency. So you're acting like a physician.
Yes.
I'm in the urgent care or ER room. You're focused on symptoms that I'm describing, and you're focused on giving me a diagnosis and a prescription.
You,
That's
you
the
couldn't,
mentality.
yes, you couldn't have put it any better. Yes.
Okay, cool. So, would you say you have the capacity to handle more business, and are you looking to bring more new customers into your business and grow sales? Or are you interested in just maintaining your current customer base while still increasing sales? Well, there's three choices: to grow and bring in more customers, to maintain current customers but increases sales, to grow and increase sales with the current customers. Um, I want to do
Do
the
you want
third
to
one.
grow and increase sales with current customers? Okay.
Right. Like that, I think that makes sense if I'm aggressively trying to build my business.
Yes.
What's funny is you'll meet customers who don't want to grow.
Yeah. That's why that exactly, which would be to maintain.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
actually in Austin right now at a mergers and acquisition event. And shout out to Tom Shipley. We're all here hanging out, a great time. Literally over 100 plus agency owners, and most of them are not trying to grow their agencies. They're established agencies with thousands of
Systemizing.
customers.
Yeah.
They're simply trying to go into mergers and acquisitions and have a legacy exit. Like that's the world that I'm in a ballroom with right now as we speak. So yes, you'll come across customers who are not wanting to grow.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. All the time, actually. All right. So Paulson wants to grow and increase his customers.
That's true. How much does your typical customer spend on their first purchase with you? So roofing, oh yeah, well over $1,000. It takes them 2 years to get that first purchase, but yeah, it's a lot high ticket.
Over, yeah, high
Yeah,
ticket.
yeah. What type of advertising are you currently doing? Currently running Facebook ads, Google ads, offline printing, online
Other online
venues.
venues.
Okay, yeah. Not running any advertising. So this is interesting. So if I'm selling Google ad services or Facebook ad services, I actually want to work with someone who's previously invested into those things, right? Or do I want someone brand new and it's like the new guinea pig that's just hoping that marketing campaigns work? What's your thoughts here?
I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Okay.
And I think that typically what happens is if essentially what I want to do is I don't, because I don't know if they're running pay per click ads, if they say I'm running, let's say Google ads, right? I want to go for a low hanging fruit. Like I don't know if I want like I don't necessarily want to like pitch them on helping them. They didn't tell me they needed help, right? They didn't say it, but on this question here, um, are they like where are you currently getting most of your customers? Word of mouth, referrals, or through my website, which essentially would be like through also ads. Maybe they don't need help with it. So I don't want to even go down that road. But that could be a conversation that I upsell them to because they're like, hey, listen, you're already doing this, this, and this for me. You know, can you look at how I'm doing on, I haven't gotten a lead from this guy that's been running them. Like it just
Yeah.
uncovers, it just like it starts to
Yeah.
uncover and open the can of worms.
Yeah. You know what I love about this, James? If I'm gonna be the quarterback for their marketing, I need to know all areas of marketing activities, whether I'm the one solving that
Correct.
specific problem or not. I want awareness of the landscape of marketing and sales altogether. Okay,
Exactly.
so let's say I'm currently running Google Ads. I'm doing offline printing.
You're going to pick the top one that you do the most of.
Okay, let's just go with print campaigns. That's the only thing I'm doing is
Oh, wow. Okay.
throwing out mailers and door
Nice.
knocking because I'm a roofer. I'm door knocking and doing
Hey,
mailers.
they work. Mailers work.
Yeah,
And currently, where do you get most of your customers?
word
Word
of
of mouth
mouth.
referrals.
Yeah,
What
word
stops
of
you from putting more money into advertising?
mouth. Don't know how is probably like I don't know what else to do from what already works for me. You
Yeah.
know.
So this is a big thing. Like if they would say don't have the budget, now I definitely know I'm not going to even bother. Like I'm just like we're going to get all lead gen out the window because I don't even want to uncover why. How could they not? They're a roofing company. They don't have a budget to run advertising. A little bit of a problem here. But I'm talking to them, so I still want to be able to have something to try to sell them. So let's just say don't know how. That work?
Okay. Yeah,
All right. Do you have a list of current customers or prospects, like a newsletter list or your current customers that you can make offers to?
I don't.
How satisfied are you with your current website? Now, this obviously, you know why I'm asking this. This could be a future rebuild. It could be a future things. I want to store it in the information.
Yeah, I mean I have it, but I don't think it's doing anything.
Sounds good.
I'm literally going back to the old responses of my agencies.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
As you know, AI has been being implemented across the globe. Have you implemented any of this technology? Again, you know why I'm asking this. Now, to
Yeah.
them, like it just sounds like a conversation, right? It doesn't sound like I'm like, hey, do you want to? No, like you've heard about AI, right? Have you thought about implementing it in your business, right? This is just a simple conversation that they don't get all like tight and wound up like, oh, this guy's going to try to pitch me something. No, we're gathering information
Yeah,
first.
we're in an investigative mode
Yeah.
essentially for diagnosis. So, are they seeing this?
No.
Okay, okay. So
No.
this is for you essentially,
Correct.
and you're on just a Zoom one-on-one or a phone call essentially,
Yeah,
or in
or a phone
person.
call. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm
got it.
asking the questions and I'm sitting in front of my computer on the phone or even on Zoom and just clicking.
Okay. And who all should be on that call?
I mean, if you're talking to the business owner, like it depends. I want all, decision makers on the call. I want, if his wife has a say in it because she's the secretary there, I got to make sure she's on it because the woman will always have the final say.
So I'm playing devil's advocate here and just going through different questions that we've had as part of workshops and webinars. So
Yeah,
hope this is helpful to you all that are watching. So I have not implemented AI.
you have not.
So
Okay.
that's going to be my answer. Yep.
Do you actively collect reviews from your customers after using your services?
Yeah, yeah, we do. We have Yelp. That it's Yelp is on. That should get me reviews.
Okay, so how are you getting them? Yelp?
Yelp, yeah, or Google, but I don't know how to see my Google. I'm
Okay.
literally going verbatim to old answers right
Oh,
now.
really?
In my zone. Like I remember dentists telling me I don't know how to view my Google.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, like, let's say you answer that to me.
Yeah,
In my mind, you don't. Like, in my
correct.
mind, you're collecting Yelp reviews. Like, Yelp reviews is going to do anything for you. So, I'm like, no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because I'm just trying to see if they're a candidate for rep management, right?
Yeah,
And most businesses are anyway. But I know that my system is going to weight reputation management more if I click this. So, I'm like, you
yeah,
know what? He's going to need this.
yeah.
Um, Here, like, what would your ideal scenario in terms of business growth or improvements in the next 90 days? So, what am I doing here? I'm future pacing, right? I want to make sure that they know that we measure things on 90 days. We don't measure them on 30 days. Okay. So I'm just planting the seed in his head. And you can read through this too. So
I
what
love
would
that. So is this like a operations question or are you thinking like revenue growth? Where's your
well, I'm
mentality?
thinking revenue growth.
Okay. Okay.
I'm thinking like, hey, you're talking to me for a reason. Everybody wants to grow or at least make more money. Let's talk about. So you're going to have an answer. So in the next 90 days, what would look good for you in regards to business growth or improvements
Got it.
monetarily?
Got it. So I'm doing about 85 grand a month. I would like to get to like 125.
So I would just put plus 50K per month. Again, all I'm doing is storing this. in my database. And then what about in a year?
Well, I like to 4x the business by end of the year so I can grow the team, pay taxes,
Right.
all the shenanigans.
All right. So I would say currently 85 per month, right? So I'm going to put that in there. What was your plan to achieve? So these are good goals. What's your plan to achieve those short-term and long-term goals now?
Well, we don't have a plan. That's why we're talking to you, James. But
You don't have a
I
plan.
mean, but we've also seen a lot of people with different plans, and we
Mm-hmm.
just don't know which one to really go in on either,
Okay.
Because remember, these prospects are getting pitched left and right every
Sure.
single day. So just be mindful that sometimes the differentiator is your ability to be transparent. It's not
Yes.
even the offer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And having a conversation, like you have already been warmed up to this person by asking, like you're going to ask these questions. I've seen business owners be like, man, how do you know like what to ask me? Because everything was like, I have a problem. Like in his mind, he's saying to himself, I have a problem with that. Why is he asking me about that? Does he know that I have a problem with that? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so like,
Well, this is the benefit of like focusing on an industry. You start seeing the same type of problems in the
oh yeah,
sales process.
yes. And so these 10 questions really do fit. And then we'll get into the service-based questions, but these questions do fit anybody that you're going to talk to.
Yeah,
So
so I'm
they
gonna
don't
go
have a
with I
plan.
don't have a plan. Yeah, I don't have a plan.
Okay, so now it's going to take the discovery questions, and you can see here when you hit this page, say, all right, based on everything you've told me so far, I believe I know what's going on. I just have a few more questions. Is that okay? Right now, I'm going to make this a little. No, I guess no, I won't. So based on the answers, right? I have this scoring in the background doing some stuff. So like for example, right now, online reputation management would be
Number one.
number one, which a lot of times it is. Okay. Again, because we've talked about this, Paulson, foot in the door. What's the best foot in the door service? Hold on. Let me just make this. Is this okay if it go like that so I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
scroll?
yeah. It's
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
So what I'm allowing the user to do, again, an agency owner or myself, is you could go with the recommendation, but if you already had if you were like, no, I want to sell this guy AI, I don't really care what he tells me, then you can go ahead and click this. So let's just go to AI. All right. So now I have specific questions related to AI. And you're going to figure out like, why am I asking these questions? Well, because it's going to lead me into an AI offer. So how do you handle incoming calls when you or your staff are busy or after hours? You miss calls. Does it go to voicemail? You get a lot of repetitive questions that take up staff time, or you pay someone to answer phones, but it's expensive.
yeah. Number three for sure. I get a lot of repeat,
Okay.
random. What time do y'all open all day long?
All right. Exactly. What's your address? How quickly do you respond to leads who message you online or fill out a form? Hours. You answer them, but it's overwhelming. You usually follow
Yeah,
up once, then lose track, or we don't use live chat because it's too much to manage.
yeah. Usually no live chat.
How do you currently manage and respond to online reviews? Barely check them. Have time to. You don't have time to reply to all of them. We aren't getting enough reviews, so it doesn't matter anyway. We don't know how to even handle negative reviews.
Yeah, we don't get to them because we're busy door knocking. We're busy doing quotes. We're busy walking around on top of roofs.
Who handles your marketing, posts, emails, ads right now?
My
Nobody.
ne-
I try to do it
my
myself.
yeah,
Freelancers, we run ads. No,
my nephew, my nephew handles all of it.
I try to do it myself. Okay.
Yeah.
If I could help you save time or money, now this is an important question. See, what I'm saying here is if I could help you save time or money in one of these areas, phone calls, messages, reviews, or marketing, which would impact your business the most? What you want to do is you don't want to say to them, "Oh, I can help you." Like you're not at the part of a conversation to say, "I could help you with everything that you've already told me by doing X, Y, and Z." Right? We want them to self-admit. So we want to say, like, what is most important? Is it phone calls you're getting? Is it messages that you can? Is it reviews? Or marketing? What is the most important to you right now? So if we could stop missing calls, that would be huge. We need to respond faster. Our reviews are killing us, or I wish someone handled our marketing content.
Yeah, you know what I love about this specific question, the thing that stands out for me the most, James, is when I talk to SaaSpreneurs, they do not often think in the love language of the prospect. Like concept of phone calls and messages and reviews makes sense.
Right.
But if you say live AI web chat, if you
Right.
say
Yeah.
landing pages, if you say things that are tech oriented in the marketing industry, they often will not understand the value that you're really trying to present. They just see it as a feature thing. So like
Yeah.
this is a perfect example of not selling features but selling outcomes. Can
Correct.
you do you mind just like going into details of that?
In details of what? Like just
Like the
talking about.
positioning, like the way like you don't go in talking about a widget,
Gotcha.
a widget. You
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about outcomes that you're presenting on the sales side,
Yeah,
right?
and you can see through these questions, I'm literally using like everyday normal people terms, not marketing terms.
Yeah.
So I'm asking questions in the sense of like, again, here's what we find is a problem with businesses. You have problems getting to phone calls, messages, reviews, or marketing. You understand that, right? So if I try to say, well, listen, we could put an AI chatbot on your things to answer all of your, you just start to spit this jargon like in their head. They're like, chat bot, what do you, I don't know what you're talking about. So we're like, no, instead, we can help solve this problem. Imagine if you never had to worry about responding to reviews again. Oh, how could you do that? There's just some technology we can put in place and it'll handle everything for you and it'll sound like a real person. And then a lot of times they'll say, oh, is that like this AI stuff? Yeah, it's like AI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
What we
saying? Like,
just yeah, what we just described is the first major pillar of struggles that all SaaSpreneurs go through. They get stuck on the tech, they
yeah,
talk to the prospect throwing up tech language.
yes.
That's what happens. So hopefully you're getting some nuggets out of this. Let's keep going.
So which one would you say you want help with the most?
Missed calls or reviews if I'm
It
focused
doesn't
on
matter.
reviews. Yeah.
It'll figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So that'll generate a recap again because I'm trying to make this a conversation instead of just like boom, 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 boom. So I want to break a little bit. So hey, listen. So I would say, all right. So now I have a really good idea, but allow me to summarize. If I understand correctly, your customers on average spend over $1,000 initially with you. Right now, customers are currently finding you mostly through word of mouth. You also said that you're currently running offline print campaigns and you haven't put more into advertising because you don't know how. You do have a list of customers and you don't actively collect reviews and you are not satisfied. Are you good so far? Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
again, I'm doing this in a conversation because, and by the way, but when we used to do this, the hardest part was trying to go back on the paper and summarize. Like this was the hardest part about this because the summary is so important because this, what a business owner will be like, man, this guy like is really paying attention. Like, how does he remember exactly what I said? And it flows. Obviously, this is pulling the information and putting it into a generation of a summary. And you would be shocked of how a business owner reacts by you knowing what the hell you're talking about, right?
Well, this is also different than like a AI Zoom companion notes crap. Like, don't use
Oh,
that for sales.
right.
Have a diagnostic tool, something similar to this or something like this, right? You can tell when it's just jargon versus, oh, you really cared about the problem that
Everything
you're
I
trying
said,
to
exactly.
solve. Yeah.
Yep. And so now, again, I wanted to remind you guys, I'm the marketing agency, and I'm talking to a business owner, and they're not seeing my screen. I don't want to confuse people. Like they don't even know where I'm coming up with these questions. Like as far as they just think I'm asking it, randomly. So as a user, I summarized. I was like, hey, so far so good. And they're like, yeah, so far so good. So now I can generate my script. Okay. And if I click back, let me go back to recap. So the generation of the script is when we're going to try to pitch them something, right? So we have a phone call management. So we call this, oh, it's pulling the wrong one. Oh, no. Yeah, it's pulling the wrong one. Let me go back to template here, edit template. Let's see if it pulled it. All right, I'm going to go back here. So this is, I'm beta testing all this, but what it should have done, let's, like you said, hold on. Let's do this one. Where is the phone call one? I got to find one that I did the script for already. All right, let's see what this one generates. Okay. So based on the questions, so I haven't finished doing this yet, but based on the questions that I have asked, it's going to generate a script for conversation AI. Okay, does it make sense?
Yep.
And so I would now say I would come to this page and I would say, okay, cool. So when someone fills out a form on your site or message you on Facebook, how long does it usually take before they hear back from you? Business owner would say, it's a few hours, takes a little time, sometimes the next day. Right. And in that time, how many do you think just move on to the business and answers first? And so I'm going to start poking them a little bit, right? I'm going to start getting a little bit under their skin. And the business owner was like, I don't know, maybe most, like a lot of them, I guess, if I'm not answering, now they're getting pissed. Cause like, I believe I've done this with roofers before and they get like, some of them are a little harsh. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe they call the next guy. Well, what do you want from me? I'm trying to do my best. And I'll say, like, exactly. And that's the leak. Leads don't die because they aren't interested. They die because nobody followed up fast enough. Now, imagine this. Every time a lead fills out a form, sends a DM, or texts your business, they get an instant natural response. It books appointments, answers questions, and keeps them engaged until you're ready to close. It's like hiring a 24/7 salesperson that never forgets to follow up. If I could give you a way to double the number of leads you close without spending a penny more on ads, would you even hesitate to use it? No, I wouldn't. And so I'm bringing them into the close. Okay. And again, I could actually use AI with an API key. So everybody, if you have an API key with ChatGPT, you could plug it in here, save it, and generate an AI script. I like to use the templates. Sometimes AI gets a little crazy. And again, I'm going through the flow of that picture I showed you a while. So let's say that Paulson says, great. So I would mark them as sold. All right. That was what? Roofing?
Yep.
And I could go back into the pitch and I could start onboarding. And here's the questions. I don't think I need to go through the questions, but this is now me onboarding the roofer. Okay. And so what did I sell them? I sold them conversation AI using GoHighLevel. All right. Now, really quick, before we get into questions, I'm going to go over and do this really quick. First of all, I could generate in the system practice interviews. So I could generate them, click it. So if I want to practice like online reputation management, I would just hit start. The system will answer as many questions as it can automatically and give me different outcomes. So then I just have to answer a few of them in here. They have a list. Website could be better. I've not implemented. Let me go to 10. And so now, what did I want to practice? Online reputation. So I select this service. Here's my service questions for reputation management. Are you using Google Ads? Now, this is the reason why I'm asking this, because if they're not, again, now I'm storing that this is another service I could use. Do you know if you're getting any leads from your Google profile? Oh, you don't know. Again, now I can help them rank their Google business profile. So I'm setting up the future upsells. Do you understand? Make sense?
Yep.
Do you have a procedure in place to handle negative reviews? Don't have a procedure. Well, my reputation management is going to fix that. So now what do? The same, again, we're following the same blueprint. I'm going to go through here, recap it. And what I wanted to show you here is we can use GoHighLevel. We go right here. I'm going to go to GoHighLevel, my brand, my prospecting here. So in GoHighLevel, if I knew I was going to talk to a specific business, I'm going to run them through GoHighLevel's prospect.
Audit. Yeah.
Okay. And so I already did this with this company. I would export the PDF. Again, when you think about this, I'm doing this. I already got this done, right? I already ran a brand audit, or I ran an audit using GoHighLevel. And now I can upload the PDF. I already have it here somewhere. And that'll stick here. So when I get to this part, like I don't have to flounder and stuff like that. It'll be right here waiting for you. I could look through here. If I want to, I could in this area say, look, I ran a marketing audit report on your business. Here's what I found. You go through some of the bad things. I mean, this guy's really struggling. This client that I just onboarded, he doesn't even have a website, which is good because I will sell him a website. Anyway, so I don't want to train on this, but this guy's got a lot of problems. You could bring this kind of stuff up if you want to. It's just in the process. Then I get through that. And then here's my trial script. Okay. So should we talk about trials? So I mentioned to you guys earlier, I believe, especially in the beginning, before you have proof, before you have really anything, free trials, getting your feet wet is great. All right. And so how does this trial work? If I'm on, right, I'm not going to read through all this, but if I'm on here, my last essential pitch is going to be, I could do this for free. I'll do it for free for a little bit of time. All right. Or I'll get you 5 free reviews. And I want to get my feet wet. All right. And so the process would be, hey, I'm going to get you 5, 10 reviews using this service. And if you're happy with it, guess what we're going to do? We can continue it. If not, I'll just go down the street to your competitor or whatever. And then in the process, you would just kind of mark as trial. And then I'm just kind of speeding through this because I don't want to run out of time. But essentially, what I get to do here is, actually, let me pause for a second because I want to, this is actually important. I don't want to speed through this part.
You're good. So I think,
Go
so one or two things I want you to just clarify on.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't, in the audit, you're only focused on that gateway entry offer, like reputation management, or does the audit cover all the different gaps you saw in the entirety of that business? So upsells included, or
So
are you, like, what is the, yeah,
So me personally, I skip the brand. I skip this. I don't use it, but I know that there's a lot of like my students who love
using
pulling
this?
these things up and then sharing their screen. And so I wanted to put that process in place for them.
Gotcha. And the reason why you skip it is because you already know you have a certain offer that makes sense for them. You have practice in that.
I
Right.
could just, yeah, based on the question that that I ask, most people honestly need, I shouldn't say most people, most businesses need help with reviews, but I'm also not going after businesses that have 1,000 Google reviews and they have a multi-million-dollar dental practice. Right. And I think that's a good, another point that we need to understand is like, you shouldn't be going after people who already have a thriving business. Right. You want to go after the ones that need help.
Yeah, if they have a ton of customers and patients already and you can't get booked for like 3 months, it doesn't make sense to bring in more leads to this week.
Exactly.
Right. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
okay, let's keep going.
So that was a brand audit. Let me go over here.
Yeah. Is this helpful, you guys? Are you getting a lot of insights out of what we're doing? We're going through some of the deep components of agency sales, you know. What I like about this the most, James, is that you're not coming in like linguistically like persuading them necessarily.
No.
You're coming in with data and a report that says, here are my findings, take it or leave it. That's kind of the mentality I'm feeling.
Yeah. By the time I get to this area, like I know they've already kind of admitted that that's why I chose reputation management, right? They've admitted to it. And now I could go back when you like I could go all the way back to the recap. No, not the recap. The recommendations. And if this isn't at least 100% confidence, then I know, okay, maybe I'm going to pitch them message marketing and database reactivation. So I'm not like haphazardly just choosing it to choose it. But these are the two main trials. Like I can run an easy trial for message marketing. I get like 50 people on their customer list and blast out an offer that they want to offer, like 20% off, whatever, a roof inspection. And I'll get results from that. And then what better way? And then online reputation, like helping them get another five-star reviews. Again, we're just going after their customers. Now, if they don't have a list, then you may want to dive into like some AI services or something like that. Or the best thing is, and again, I don't want to confuse people and try to keep it simple, is if they don't have a list, they need help trying to figure out how to get like a CRM set up and getting a list. So there's always problems. There's just always problems.
Love it. Let's keep going. I know we got to close up here.
All right. So let's go back to this because I want to show you this. So let's say I set up a trial. Here. So I get this guy in a trial, and my trial is like, I'm going to get you some reviews. So let's say I got, so now I come back, right? So I'm going to get back on the phone with this person, and I know that prior to the trial, this guy had 15 Google reviews, and after he's got 22. Okay, we didn't do any Facebook reviews; he didn't want them, and he had a 4.2 overall rating, and now he's got a 4.6. Right now, I'm documenting. Right, I'm documenting this. I'm just going to keep this default, but whatever your primary service name is, you could just click and change it, and then whatever you charge, let's say. Okay, so these are some of the offers that I would offer and downsell them to. All right, it's built into here. You can name it whatever you want. You could charge whatever you want. Let's say we charge 197. I don't know. So I hit save and continue. And now in my script to him, I'll say, all right, so as you can see, we were able to get you 7 reviews here on Google. It's calculating the differences. Good stuff, right? Now, as you can see, your rating is 4.6, which we compare to 4.2 prior to us working together. So this script is basically now trying to get them on a recurring basis for reputation management. That's it, really.
So this is after they were already working with you for a little bit.
They're a trial client, free trial client. And again, there are many of our students who charge for trials. They like, hey, $300 for a week of a trial, let's say. I do free. I just always have for a long time. It's just easier. It makes me more confident to get a client onboarded and then get them for long term. So I'm doing a trial, free trial, setting them up, getting some results. These are the results. And then I'm pitching them on a 197, 297 reputation management every month.
Got it. And in the sales cycle, often with agencies, a lot of the gap is after a client has said yes before they make the payment. It's like they say yes, and you're like, I haven't found them in for 2 weeks. They went on vacation. They are like nowhere to be found. I know they give me a verbal yes, but I can't onboard them until they have made a payment. So when you skip that component and say, let's get started now, don't worry about the pricing or the investment. We'll deal with that later. You take down a whole wall of objections when you don't have a payment friction in between.
Yeah.
So there's benefits of that, especially if you're starting out. If you're advanced,
starting out, there's a lot of benefits to that. I would say, if you're doing 10, 12,000 a month as an agency, you wouldn't be doing free trials. I mean, you can. Like I said, when I do free stuff for businesses all the time to get on their good graces, and it's just what I do.
And the shorter the trial period, the better, isn't it?
The shorter the better. You don't want a time period. Essentially, you want a result period.
So first 50 reviews, and if that happens in the first 2 days, great, trial's done.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And look how fast I work. Oh yeah. Sure. You tell them maybe I'll talk to you in 5 days, and then all of a sudden, the next day, hey, let's jump on because this is what I got you.
And here's a pro tip: in all areas of your system, turn on the notifications so your client just get flooded with notifications, whether it's revenue, transactions, reviews, web chat interactions, inquiries. Like their phone should just go off to the point where they're like, hey, Paulson, can you turn this thing off? I see your stuff is working.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's keep going to kind of close up the day.
Yeah. All right. And so again, let's say they jump on the reputation booster at 197, then I can onboard them on the basically the questions. I'm going to ask them the questions that they need to answer. I don't know if we need to go through this. Because ultimately what I really want to do is just show you the process. So let me just answer these really quick. Because none of it really matters. This will all be stored. More total. So now, like, this is an important question. How do we measure the success? Right. So how do we measure this? So, because some people are like, I just want to hire a Google rating. I don't really care about how many reviews. So then I know the next time I talk to them, like that's the stat that I want to talk about. So we'll just do that. Do you have any specific industry websites? No. This is important. Again, after we run the campaign to the existing customer list, would you prefer to provide me with the new customers weekly or bi-weekly? Why do we need to do that? Now, there are instances where we could use Zapier or tie in a business owner's CRM to GoHighLevel. But like some of them, they don't even use a CRM. So, they're storing it on pens and paper or a pad and paper. And so we want to kind of, get them their sub account, get their clients in there. You could charge them they'll hand you a stack of, here's all the invoices I sent out, get a VA to put them all in there. Like, these are all services you could do, or you can do it for free to get on good graces. Right. So how are we going to get because if we're going to keep generating reviews, their customers need to get into GoHighLevel to run it. Right. Make sense?
Yep.
And so, like, again, we have, if any of my students are on here, some do it weekly, bi-weekly, some do monthly. So it would complete the onboarding. And so we could actually always view the onboarding, always know all the information that we need. And so that will all be stored there. Okay. So does all this make sense? And that's the process. So that is the current process that I've built in here. Yeah. Now, what I'm adding to this is common in the script area. If I go to the script, like, there's gonna be a tab that's like common objections, and I'll give you answers to the common objections. So you always have a place to be able to answer them for that specific service. Checklists, because I got checklists to actually do the service. That's all gonna be built in this centralized location. So then you could always never get lost. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that I've noticed is what happens is the inaction comes from being afraid that they're not going to know what to do next, right? They don't know what to say next. They don't know what to do next. They don't have a process. Hence why I've kind of made this, instead of it being like, yeah, you could do this all on paper, but I felt like this is just a much better way of doing it.
Love it. So what we're talking about today is going over and how to manage the sales process, essentially. And the other side of it is the fulfillment side of it. So what can you give us kind of a preview of what we're going to learn tomorrow versus
Yeah,
what
so tomorrow I'm gonna show you guys a very slick reputation management. It's in your snapshot, by the way. I would just wait until tomorrow so I can walk you through it. So we're gonna have we'll set up the reputation management service. We'll add the AI reviews, where it's auto responding to it, and I'll do anything else that you guys want to do. We'll set up the referral automation. So then when a client is in your system, on the back end, we will have automation set up to go out, trying to get them back on another call. So then you could ask them for referrals. I'll give you the scripts for that. So yeah. And anything else you guys want to know? I got nothing but time on my hands.
Perfect. So why don't we call it a day for day one? We went through the first 3 phases of the sales process, and tomorrow we'll go over the next component of it. Any final recommendations for the folks that are jumping into the snapshot and everything else that you've provided today?
Yeah. So if they have the snapshot, you can actually access. This is not, just so you guys know, this doesn't cost anything. Just so you guys all know this. But it will be for GoHighLevel users or people who jump on a trial or upgrade or whatever it might be. And you'll be able to get, I'll explain tomorrow how you can get access to this, and it'll probably be ready in the next few days. I just want to add some more things to it. And I want to stress test it a little bit. And then as far as, what did you ask me? I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, what are we going to learn tomorrow versus
so tomorrow we'll be setting up reputation management. We're going to be adding some AI to it. We're going to be doing some referral. Hold on. There was something else that I had on the list. Let me go back to my presentation. Here. Okay. So here. So the AI service set up. So we're going to do AI reviews, reputation management. I'll give you guys a 5-day plan to landing your first client step by step. And then I'm really going to show you how do you go from the $297 payment to the $2,000 payment.